If you're a vegan man who's been trying to put on muscle and it's not working, or maybe you tried in the past and it didn't work the way you wanted it to, I'm going to give you the 3 most common barriers to gaining muscle. So first of all, growing muscle, like creating big muscle, that takes a lot of time. And so people often start on a program or start on their fitness journey, or they get in the gym and they, try to figure it out and it doesn't work, and they become discouraged and they stop, right? That's not one of the 3 reasons. But I wanted to mention it first because it's also incredibly common. But what I'm going to talk about is specifically if like you are actively working on it, or you worked on it before and you're like, I tried everything, like I think I did my best and it just didn't work, or it's not working. I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons that come up the most in my experience. So number 1 is not consuming the proper amount of protein, right? So if you follow me, if you've been watching my stories or my content, last week I talked about how there's a certain formula for like how many of each macro you should be consuming. And so protein is really, really critical because it is what builds muscle, right? So it breaks down in your body. It is a source of energy, but it's not really a source of energy as much as it is more like a building block for your muscle. So if you're not getting enough, and that's going to be based on like your size, weight, gender, all that jazz. If you're not getting enough, then you cannot gain muscle. You can't grow it. The second reason is not executing proper movements or not exercising properly, right? So you, as much as we'd like to just go and like move weight around and say like, oh, I worked out, right? I had a conversation with somebody who said, I do construction work, so I'm constantly moving my body. Well, I don't understand. Why am I not gaining muscle? You have to do the proper movements. You have to have the proper exercises. So that is like essentially like a full-on plan that you need to be following. Because if you're not hitting the right amount of sets or reps or weight, so moving around your intensity for those exercises, then you might be doing something that's either going to gain strength or maybe something that's going to burn fat, but there's not going to be a huge emphasis on muscle gain unless you're in an appropriate range for that. Finally, similar to the first point that I made here, in addition to eating the right amount of protein, you also need to be making sure that you're eating a sufficient amount of calories, right? Again, this is going to be broken down based on you specifically, and your goals and where you're at. But if you are trying to gain muscle but you're not eating enough, lots of people think they eat a lot and don't. If you're not eating enough, then you're also going to run into a problem where you can't really gain muscle. My huge recommendation to kind of cover the first and the third base is like track what you're doing. Figure out like what it is you need to do and track it. Hey, so if you have been working on this, or you worked on it in the past and it just like didn't work, or if you would like to start because this is a goal that you've had and you just aren't starting it quite yet, I want to help you put muscle on your body. So I work with plant-based men, or men who are transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle, who are looking to turn fat into muscle, or just straight up put some fresh muscle on your body, and don't really want to restrict what you're eating or your favorite foods right now, right? So I also don't put cardio in. I don't like cardio, so there's absolutely ways to get you where you're going, and I want to do that for you. You can click on the link in my bio. You can click on the link right here on the screen. There's no reason to keep waiting. Fall's coming. If you saw my stories yesterday, trying to fit into those Halloween costumes. But additionally, like, if this is something you want, you should go for it. And if you're not sure how, I'm here to help. I hope this helped. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good weekend.